Yo, what's up, everybody? Chris here from Esports News, back at it again with another video. Today I'm going to be bringing you guys a quick recap of what happened during today's matches, that of course being Thursday's matches, as well as what you guys can expect going into today's matches, your time, that of course being Friday's matches. Now today we can pick up Ultra taking on the Gorillas, and as you guys know, yesterday I was expecting the Ultra to come out with a very hot 3-0, and 3-0 they did. Looking at the stats here, you guys know with these series that end in very decisive 3-0s, I don't go over map by map, of course, stat-wise, but I do go over the score lines. So looking at the general stats here, Insight had a 1.72. Thank God I have him on my fantasy team. That was the snipe of the century. Bance had a 0.79. Cammy had a 1.24, and Kleenex had a 1.25. So pretty much exactly what you would expect from the Ultra side, apart from Bance's -8 performance. But it didn't really matter. They're playing LAG. And thank God, finally Mental had a somewhat decent performance. He had a 0.84 in this series. Silly had a 0.61, Saul had a 0.98, and App had a 0.85. So okay performance from the LA Gorilla side, but not enough to obviously topple the Ultra, and no one was really expecting them to. Looking at map 1, Gary Hardpoint, of course, it was 250, 275 in favor of the Ultra. The Moscow S&D was 6-3, and the Gary Control was a 3-0. So really, there was no point in this series where the Gorillas looked like they were knocking on the door at all. It was just a very, very decisive and clean sweep on the side of the Toronto Ultra. Of course, looking ahead to our second matchup of the day, you guys know I was expecting this one to be a little bit tighter. I thought it would honestly go down to the wire, but Seattle just got smoked. So, of course, the Rocker, they came out really hot like I expected them to in their home series, this being their first matchup of the home series. Excuse me, I don't know why I'm stuttering so much. But they came out hot and they 3-0'd. So looking at the stats in general, Sandy had a 1.31, Major had a 1.33, Priest had a 1.19, and Attach had a 1.22. So everybody played very well. And more importantly for me, the SMG duo had their cohesive performance, and they put a lot of pressure on Classic and Pristini, as you guys can see in the stats. Classic had a 0.52, and Preston had a 0.88. Octane had a 0.82, and Gummas had a 0.98. No one on the Surge is really close to keeping up with, of course, the Rocker side slang-wise. Sorry for the stutter there again. But the scorelines were pretty much the same as LA Gorilla series. 6-3 on S&D, 3-0 on Gary Control, and a 250 to 158 scoreline on the Hardpoint. The S&D scorelines were the same, and the Control scorelines were the same, but of course, the Surge scored about 83 more points than the Gorillas. I think the math there is correct, right? Yeah, 75 and 75, 150. Yeah, 83 points. So, yeah, so good showing from the Ultra. The Ultra and the Rocker, and I expect them to continue their momentum going into the rest of the weekend. Now, looking ahead to tomorrow's matches, personally, I think that the Dallas Empire come out and get a very decisive 3-0 or 3-1 victory over the Mutineers. But out of respect to the Mutineers and honestly just how good they've looked in the last few weeks, I would say it's a 3-1 in favor of Dallas. And I think that the map that the Mutineers take is likely the S&D. Dallas's S&D has been pretty solid, but Mutineers will probably be looking to get more reps in the game mode and trying to win more consistently, since that's the game mode that they've struggled the most with against top teams like NYSL. So I think personally, the Mutineers probably come out, if they win a map in this series, it's the S&D. The hard point, I don't really see that being close. Dallas has kind of ascended. The Control, I think it's more of the same. Respawn, I don't think that the Mutineers are able to hang. And that's why I think a 3-0 is very likely. You know what, screw it. We'll say 3-0 Dallas. I don't see them really having a advantage in any of the three game modes or exploiting any weaknesses unless Dallas, has a terrible performance, like Vivid drops a 0.5 and Shotzi drops a 0.6 or something, or Illy drops like a 0.2 or something ridiculous. So I think it's a 3-0 for Dallas. Florida's a really good team, so I think it's going to be a tight 3-0, but I still think it could definitely be a 3-0. If not, it's a 3-1. So I'll call it a 3-0. Just go for the ego chow here and hope it works out. We already had 2 3-0s today. I said 3-1. I was too kind today, so maybe I should be a little bit more conservative tomorrow and say 3-0. So looking to our next matchup of the day, we have Faze taking on the LA Thieves. Actually, I'll walk that back. We'll say 3-1 Dallas, just because I don't think we'll have 4 straight 3-0s to start off this week. I think Atlanta Faze, I think they 3-0 the LA Thieves. I just don't think that the Thieves are as good of a matchup or as close of a matchup as the Mutineers in Dallas. I think that the Thieves are definitely making a lot of headway with John, But the MYSL series was very telling to me because honestly, Optic came out and smoked them 250 to 200, and then 6-5, and then I believe 3-0 in control, and they 3-0 the series. I don't know how I remember the score lines off the top of my head, but I regress. So I think honestly, with the Thieves playing that MYSL so tight, even though MYSL has so many gaping holes in their game, I just don't like the way that that bodes going into a series against a team like Faze, who have looked unblemished this entire stage thus far. So I think with that in mind, I think it's a 3-0 for Faze. I just don't think that this Thieves roster has what it takes just yet to take it to a team like Faze or even a team like Optic yet. So we'll see how things go tomorrow. But as it stands, I think Dallas 3-1, Faze 3-0, and I think that's how the day goes. So yeah, guys, that'll just about wrap it up for me. Hope you guys have a great morning, noon, or night, wherever you may be on this beautiful planet. And I'll catch you guys on the next video. Once again, this has been Chris from Fake Sports News, and I'm signing off. Peace out, everybody. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Really trying to help the channel to grow, and I appreciate all the love and support. So thank you to everybody who has been supporting me throughout this journey. Peace out, guys. Enjoy the COD.